Folks, welcome back to the MSSADA podcast, your 24-hour ADs here, the big Bedford Buck. My friend Keith Mangan over at Bedford and myself, Matt Trahan, Director of Athletics at Old Colony. Welcome back, Keith. How's all things?
Listen, things are outstanding as always, Matt. You know, when we're on the right side of the grass, so we're just trucking along right now, getting ready for a busy Friday afternoon here up in Bedford.
Nice.
Softball home today, tennis home, and we got girls lacrosse. We had to actually move from yesterday to today due to a shortage in officials, as we know all too often. So we are rocking and rolling today.
You know, Keith, it's funny you bring up the point of a move and whatnot. You know, for the average AD, I think they all know that, you know, there's a lot of moving parts and whatnot, but
Yep.
If there's anybody who's listening who happens to not be an athletic director, maybe a parent, maybe you know, somebody who just happens to be the casual fan, we don't make these changes because we like change. We make changes because we try to get games in for our student athletes. I know last week I had a situation where I had actually two teams on the field, and I had officials the previous Thursday. I had officials that day. Come game time, they disappeared.
Yep.
I think they did a college game instead of a high school game. Moves here, there, and everywhere. You know, a day game becomes a night game.
Yeah.
A home game becomes an away game. This is something that we don't like to do, but I know you mentioned it. We do it. We do it, and we do it because we need to get the games in, and whether it's JV, varsity, or whatever it may be. I just appreciate people's patience because it's not easy at this point. This has been a tough spring.
No, and you know, never mind the weather, which becomes an issue, but it's you know, we have for instance, girls lacrosse right now we have a lot of folks who do college as well. And we have league tournaments, and now we're going into the NCAAs pretty much coming up here, and people are giving games back that were already scheduled. And, you know, unfortunately it is what it is. And, but we got to make the best of it. We got to be flexible, and we got to get it done. We can't play without an official. So sometimes mistakes happen, whether it be our mistake or someone else's mistake. And, it's never done intentionally, but you know, it is what it is. And we try to, as long as they're not frequent, I think people tend to be a little bit more flexible with that.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. You know, tonight we're playing lacrosse. We're actually going to do JV first tonight at 5 because it's senior night for the boys. So we're hosted at like 6:30, but it's difficult because, you know, again, as a parent of a student athlete, I know that you are, and you've got some kids that are, you know, high profile athletes, so to speak, right? They take after their mother. But anyway, you know, it's tough for kids because, you know, parents want to be there, and change is tough. But at the end of the day, I think it's all for a good reason. I will say this though, you and I have sat in on numerous meetings and seminars on ref reps, and the fact that there is a lack of officials. The average age of an official is something to the degree of maybe 58 years old. I pitched the idea of ref reps to my department here with phys ed. Yeah, you're gonna take that? Excellent. And I think it's a great move. We have a flex block. We have an area where we can kind of incorporate that a little bit. And I think that you're going to start seeing a lot more people doing the same because again, I mean, shortage of officials. You could, in theory, have a senior go out who may not be a student athlete and do a game.
Yeah, you know? No, and you know, and Otto did a great job, you know, getting ready for his retirement here as well from Taunton. But shout out to him presenting at the MIA annual meeting, and I already had my phone call with them right now. So we're looking at incorporating that into potentially the PE or offering it as another option. You know, we're in like a lot of other towns, we just hit a little bit of a freeze here financially, you know, getting some stuff done, but hopefully that resolve itself soon, and then can start putting some things in motion to hopefully incorporate that next year into our program.
Yeah, I mean, anything we can do to help. I think it helps us and it helps everybody else because, you know, we've never really been in this situation until the last couple of years where, you know, before you could kind of set your clock by the official, and now it's, you know, hey, can you move this? Can you move that? And, you know, again, I mean, you and I talk about all the time. We do all have lives, so it is nice to play a 3:30 game versus a 6 o'clock game. One of the things I wanted to talk to you today, Keith, about is, you know, I got caught in a situation where like your kids, being very involved in sports. My son's playing baseball, and last year we bought him a bat. My wife and I bought him a nice bat, talking, and I won't drop names of the type of bat it is. However, he moved up this year, and that bat is no longer allowed.
Yeah, I just saw that. I just saw that news break. I was actually at a baseball game, Tewksbury North Andover baseball game. My daughter's boyfriend plays for Tewksbury, and some parents are talking about that who had younger players. And all of a sudden, that change in that bat's and it's, I will say I'm not sad that my son's no longer playing baseball, but not sad that I don't have to deal with that issue anymore.
Oh God.
And here with our baseball team, we don't buy bats. The kids have their own and stuff. So, gone are those days when I played baseball in high school. Our athletic department purchased some bats for us, and like maybe one kid had their own bat, one maybe two, and now everyone has their own.
So
and the bats are fairly inexpensive too, so that helps, makes it easier, right?
Oh, listen, when you talk, so this is my tip to anybody who's listening, because learn from my mistake. Okay, when you spend $300 plus on a bat, and that's middle of the road. I mean, there's bats for $4, $5, $9, $8, $99. Yep. This is my new go-to. Okay, and every kid wants the newest, hottest thing, right? Sorry, son, you're not getting it. But we will get you a new bat. We're just going to get you a brand new bat that was hot as heck in 2021, because that is a third the price.
Well, listen, and I will tell you. So it's funny now that my son's hockey season has come to his hockey career has come to an end as far as interscholastic athletics. I can throw this tidbit out here, and I'm sure I'll get some grief for this, but that's okay. But along those same lines, that hockey sticks break regularly, and it's crazy, and it's I would do, and I'd go over and buy. So like this at the end of last year, in the spring, I went and bought 3 hockey sticks for my son, and they were all older models, brand new, but just hadn't been purchased before. Still work great, and everything is wonderful. And so I bought those I bought 3 sticks for the price of one, and then gave those to him in the summer. I kept him in my office for a while, and over the summer, we was getting ready to start his senior season to club and everything. I go, here you go. You got your 3 that are left over, and here's 3 more, and this is it. I go, you got to make these last here, through the high school season, and he did. We had one to spare, which was pretty lucky. But yeah, you're right. It's crazy. And then some of them, like the hockey sticks, if they break, they'll buy back programs and warranties and stuff on them. But even that is difficult to deal with. So it's, don't be in a hurry to go out and buy that new model.
No, the new model is always nice, and everybody it's the same bat. It's a different color, coach. You know what I mean? It's, try to get that through to a 14, 15-year-old kid. But at the same point in time, financially, dollars and cents, what's wrong with a brand new bat? It just happens to be the 21 model. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing at all. So,
listen, ultimately, it's not the bat that's going to matter anyway, right? It's who's swinging it and the skills that brought with it. So,
that's the truth.
I think I had that conversation. Now I sound like my father right now. I know it. And if my wife would listen to this, she's like, she'd tell me I'm embarrassing. I for fear of sounding like my dad back in the day, it's like, look, when you're scoring 75 goals a season and getting that NHL contract, you know what? We'll go buy those skates. We'll go buy those sticks. But until then, we have other things that we got to pay for as well. So.
Oh God, yeah. Oh Absolutely. God, you know what though? I will say I do enjoy it, but I'm not a Facebook guy, right? No, just don't do it. I don't do it. Yeah. So I reached out to a friend of mine here at school, and I said, hey, listen, I've got this bat that's been gently used. He put it on Facebook Marketplace. I've already gotten 3 or 4 hits, so hopefully we'll recoup a little bit of that money that we, so to speak, lost. But
listen, we just did that with my son's hockey cleats. I mean, his baseball cleats. Just put it out there, and he got these beautiful custom made. Royal and red Nike cleats with the gold bottoms on them. It's like woo-wee. Then he didn't play after his freshman year. So those actually just went out and got sold, which was nice.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I hope I know the kids aren't listening, but hopefully the parents and the APs are, right?
Yeah.
So, moving along, Monday's a big meeting. Our group is big meeting of Mssada. And, it's a big meeting because, El Presidente, Tom Toppy, will be turning the gavel over to Jim Quattromoni.
Yeah. How do you think that first one's going to go?
Listen, I think, the month of May is the sunrise is upon us. We're getting ready for the summer. I think it'll be fairly smooth. And, kind of like Jim, he's really smooth. He's just, the cool customer. I like Jim.
He's as cool as the other side of the pillow.
I think it'll be great. It'll be great. Looking forward to it. I think, it's, we got another big year ahead too. I mean, for those that don't know, this is our 50th year anniversary coming up. I thought
Absolutely.
that, this past conference was excellent. I enjoyed, spending some time with you and others and the camaraderie that we have.
Yeah.
And I think next year is going to be over the top. Great.
Yeah. No, it's going to be great. And, I think kudos, shout out to President Tarpey for the outstanding leadership for the organization this year. Really brought some cool stuff to the table that just stepped right in and got it done. So I'm so impressed with the job that he did and did a great job for us. And now it's Jim's time to step in, and he's come along as the third vice president, second and first, and now to serve the organization. And we at our business meeting we voted in our new offices, so it's looking forward to a new regime to see what happens now for the big 5-0, as they say.
You know what, we all everybody moves down a seat, right? We all just kind of shuffle along. So I think I'm on the corner of that table moving that way, which is fine. Yeah. Which is fine. I think it's a, we talk about all the time, and it is great networking with people from across the state who get it. And I think that, young ADs who are involved, I'm working with a couple of folks. I know that, you're very well versed in mentoring and whatnot. I've been doing it for a while as well. I'm trying to help those out, get their feet under them. And then once they do, hopefully they'll jump on some committees and work with us as well. So I think it's a great way to get involved and meet people from across the state.
Absolutely.
So Keith, Monday, Monday again is another big one. What do you got on tap for the weekend? You doing anything special?
So, as you know, I have, my son is getting ready to graduate. So we are in planning stages. My son and my wife have decided that we're going to host the graduation party at our home.
Little birdie told me that you're quite the Picasso. I heard that you're good with a paintbrush. I don't know if you know this, but I painted for a company, in high school and college. I'm pretty got a steady hand, and I didn't get the call to come up to Bedford. So
listen, my feeling is if you were up in the Berry and helping me painting, I don't know how much painting we would have got done. So my kids actually flew out on Friday afternoon right after school out to the DECA international conference out in Anaheim. So they were gone till Wednesday night. So I started early Saturday morning on the front of the house. And then my wife came and joined me, and we worked together on it. And we pretty much did almost the entire house on Saturday and Sunday. And I got some that I was supposed to finish on the side, but the weather doesn't look so great. So tomorrow my wife has my niece's shower with my daughter, and my son's working now that he's back and the ice cream store is open. So I might have a couple little side projects I'm going to work on. I got to clean out the shed and get some stuff done. But that little birdie, I chatted with that little birdie on Saturday while I was up on the ladder. Someone, which is great being on Main Road, and I think this. If anytime you're on a ladder working, it usually always happens when I'm hanging my Christmas lights. Someone drives by and honks to say hello while I'm up on that ladder, and
you're all the way up, right? You're all the way up, and they beep that horn. You're gonna wonder why they do that.
It's wonderful to say hi. I don't know if my wife paid them to drive by and hit the horn right at that time or what, but luckily we didn't fall this year. But we have got, it's been a challenge. So we're getting all those projects done right now, Matt. We have quite a list. And I say we have quite a list, and we do.
It never ends. Never ends.
Never. And that's fine.
I'm working on my list too.
Yeah.
Getting the yard in order, because again, like last weekend, my son had 4 games. So it was not a throwaway weekend. We enjoyed it, but nothing got done around the house. So this weekend it's hopefully a little lighter. We'll get some stuff done, and I'm hoping to go out for a nice dinner with the missus. So we'll see.
There you go. That was nice. So we got to do that a couple nights while my kids were away, which was wonderful. And now it's like right back into mode. That the pool's being replaced because that was rotted. So that just got delivered. It's like one thing. It's like crazy list of stuff we're working on getting done. But it'll get done. It'll be wonderful. I just heard when I was walking out of the house today that my son is going to have some friends over tomorrow night for a little viewing extravaganza. Hopefully the Bruins can pull this. Last 2 were not pretty, but hopefully they can pull one out here. And nice. Although I'm a Bruins fan, I'm definitely not a Toronto fan. So this is extra important that they pull out this W. But I know you're a big C's fan, and they're getting it done. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm a big Celtics fan, as you know.
Yep.
So I was disturbed that they lost one at home.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they got it done and took care of the Heat. But we can't fiddle around here. We got to get the job done. Huge Celtics fan. We light up the house green when it's and you're always welcome because I know you're Irish, so you can always come down if if it's lit up green. Come on down.
Listen, just be careful because one day I'm going to show up on that front step and whew.
I'll be ready for you.
All right.
I'll be ready for you. So switching gears though, I do want to say this, and I neglected to start the podcast with this.
Yeah.
About a week ago, I ran into our good friend Matt Ross.
Yeah. Speaking of raising money to pay for equipment and stuff.
You know it. You know it. Absolutely. Not only are they the nicest people, but it's one hell of a company who just totally gets it. They understand us. They understand our coaches. They know what needs to be done, and they make it easy for the rest of us. Gold Athletics, in my opinion, and I say it all the time, is the only way to fundraise. If you're gonna fundraise, you shouldn't look any further. Just give them a call. They will work with you, and you will be blown away with what they can do for you. They have all different kinds of fundraisers. Matt's always great to talk to. For me, we never talk about what's next. It's always like, hey, how's the team's doing? How's your family doing? So it almost becomes an extension and an arm of your athletic department.
Yeah. When we do a lot of work with Steve Ash, and which was funny. We got to have him on the podcast too. Which I think at the time he didn't know that he was actually on. We were live when he did that. We didn't really give him that heads up, but my boys across the team right now doing some work with him, and all my teams now are one by one are signing on, and they do a great work. It's without question great work, and we got our Gold Athletics T-shirts while we were down the Cape, and I was actually changed out of that to do my painting because I didn't want to ruin that T-shirt. Because it's a high quality one too, and it's a sharp one. Yeah.
Did you see the hat? Did you see the hat I got?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's a Best Buy right there. That hat is getting some good wear on it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, all those times now, especially this time of the year, are very, very important to keep the lid covered. So
I'll be honest with you. There's a good chance that this time next year on the podcast, I might look a lot more like you.
There we go. Maybe we'll have get a little guest appearance, and we'll take care of all that.
I don't know if you noticed this, but it's got to be the job. It can't be anything else. That got a little gray coming in here, and the forehead's not getting any better. So
just be happy that you get to go gray first. My people, the redheads of the world, we go right from red to white or red to bald. So it could be worse. Remember, it could always be worse, Coach.
I love it. You know what? This is always a highlight for me to get to spend a little time with you. Yeah. Hopefully we're entertaining a few folks that are out there. I think for all of us, we're all at the point right now where I wouldn't say giddy because I'm not there yet, but you do see the light at the end of the tunnel. You do see that, we're in May, and hopefully, May is favorable, after all that rain we got in April, and we can get to the end, And the funny thing is you get a little excited when you start working on things for the fall, right? Like I'm I'm getting all of my stuff prepped and ready for, for parent meetings and Zoom meetings and all of the stuff going out. I know you're probably doing the same, but when you start doing that stuff, you go, oof, yeah, it is. It's only like 6.5 weeks.
Well, listen, and I'll tell you, we talk about different companies and stuff that we work with. I know that you signed on with Final Forms. I had my meeting with Dr. Jim Wright.
Yep.
And I'm just made my pitch for our business with our finance director, and hoping once we square away our budget stuff here that hopefully I'll be jumping on board there as well. And I'm, he did a pitch for us, and our nurse, school nurse, got involved, and one of our people that fills in as our athletic trainer came on board, and just excited of potentially moving along with that product and how well that will work and make our lives. I know you are full on board. I'm using it a lot with our for our registration, for whether it be through the conference or through our membership for Mssada, and how wonderful, what a great product it is. So I'm hoping by the next time we're on this podcast, we'll be having people signed up left and right.
I love it.
With Final Form. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
I'll tell you something, Keith, on that note. So I use Final Forms every day. However, today was a game change, right? I had an away game. Their field is underwater. I want to get it in. Field crew's on it, but I needed to make the change, and I'm not just going on social media. So I said, you know what? It's JV softball. There's been a lot of changes. One click, email all families, which means the kids are getting it, the parents are getting it in one click. And that's just one small little piece of what they do.
Yep.
There's so many other facets that, as an AD, that time is money, and that your time is valuable. So when you can save time and work with a program like Final Forms, it's definitely changed my department. So I'm hoping the same for you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be great. It'll be great. And that, then I go from there, hopefully to Arbor to Pay, getting it all done. And then everything's going to be easy for me.
That's it. Tie it up in a nice little bow.
That's what we're working on. So,
listen, I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Monday. I'm going to get there early.
Monday,
you and I are going to have a little conversation, because I got some tidbits and thoughts for you for next year about what we're going to do with this.
I love it.
And I know you have some thoughts as well. I hope you have a great weekend. Don't paint too much.
Listen, don't worry. I won't be painting too much, but I got enough other stuff that I got to do. And I will tell you that, I know someone who always watches our podcast, and Fran Witten, and I sent that text out with you on it the other night. Maybe at some point, if things aren't too crazy this summer, maybe we can do a remote podcast from up in Maine. I know our former executive director had plans for us to, have lunch again. I haven't seen that since he retired. I know he's pretty busy in his retirement life, but making that trip up to Maine might be a good idea soon. Wink, wink. No.
If we do that, I hope we get the invite. But I'm going this time around. I know that he gets free lobster from the neighbor. Okay, but I want him to dig into that pocket, because I think surf and turf is in order.
Listen, and I'm not a lobster guy, and I went. The steak tips were outstanding.
Yes, they were.
So, I don't even know if we have to worry about the invite. I think what we just need to do is just find out a time that you and I can both make that work, and we just show up on the doorstep.
I love it.
So, and let's
Surprise!
go.
We're here.
That would be outstanding. Yeah.
So listen, last order of business one more time, folks.
Yes.
You heard it. We'll say it again. Gold Athletics. Sign up. Don't wait. Do it. It is the best thing going. It'll make your life easy. Gold Athletics is the only way to fundraise. Don't just take our word for it. Anybody who's using them has nothing but good things to say. Gold Athletics, the only way to fundraise. Keith, I'll see you Monday. Hope you have a great weekend.
You too, my friend. Talk soon.
Peace be with you.